Premier, what happens if the federal government says, no dice, you must shut down those power plants by 2035, and the Supreme Court backs it? What do we do then?
Well, you will talk. Bronwyn, our Minister Era will speak to some of the legalities on it, but most certainly this. And I'm not going to answer hypotheticals with respect to this, but it's our interpretation that these decisions on how you produce power most certainly are in the realm of provincial jurisdiction. Now, if you compare that to the carbon taxation policy, of which there was a commitment made that would not go above $50. So here we are today at $65, heading for $170. Potentially now ideas floated of $240 plus. That Supreme Court decision in that case was very narrow with respect to applying a backstop where provinces wouldn't. We took that to the Supreme Court of Canada. Most certainly when it comes to clean electricity regulations and how you generate power, that isn't within the provincial jurisdiction, and Minister Eyre might speak a little more to that.
Well, and again, I think also key to the letter and the message that we're really putting forward now more than ever, to the federal government is that where there are those direct infringements on the province's constitution, constitutional jurisdiction, it really is time to make that clear that over and over again, including most recently with the clean electricity regulations, we see an absolute infringement of provincial jurisdiction over power generation and over natural resources. Keep in mind too, you speak of the Supreme Court, Brian, and it is interesting, in the carbon tax decision, the Chief Justice said that federalism recognizes that provinces have the autonomy to develop their economies as they see fit, and that the Constitution can't upset the balance and deprive provinces of the powers that are essential to their ability to control their cultural and economic destinies. That's in the carbon tax decision. And there's nothing in the carbon tax decision that says that the federal government has carte blanche to continue to trump provincial jurisdiction, as we're seeing with the clean electricity regulations, the oil cap, and on and on. So I think it's extremely important that when we talk about any Supreme Court or legal context, the carbon tax decision was very clear. We have the right to forge our economic destiny. No one has told us otherwise. And so this is an important step today to that end. And that's what we've told the federal government and will continue to tell the federal government. And if it comes to legal challenges, that will be Saskatchewan's position. We have strong arguments around interjurisdictional immunity, around 92A, around words that have been said about our own rights to defend ourselves economically and culturally. So we're pretty confident that one of these days there has to be a recognition that federalism means something and provinces have jurisdiction.
I just add to that, Brian. This is not exclusively a Saskatchewan challenge as well. We see Ontario was 94% of the way to a net zero grid today. But they have, as was mentioned, are bringing on 10 natural gas-fired electrical generation facilities as we speak or recently. And so not even the province of Ontario, to my understanding, is going to be able to achieve the net zero by 2035. So your question is not a Saskatchewan-specific question, and I would say therein lies the opportunity for the federal government today and as we move forward to engage with the provinces on, what is affordable, what is realistic, and what is ultimately reducing the emissions in our grid over a period of time for all Canadians, not just those in Saskatchewan. And so the opportunity, I would say, lies with the federal government, and we would hope that they take that. This is not about a standoff in any way, and I doubt whether, who knows, if this would end up in a court of law. This is actually about this province and I think others. Ontario, there's other coal-fired power plants that are generating electricity in Canada today that also have a runway to their end of life out to 2040, for example, and so this is an opportunity, I think, for us as Canadians to actually work together with our federal government on that affordable, reliable electricity supply across Canada, but that includes Saskatchewan.